This is the printout from the PDF, right? Page 1, page 2 with the 7 problems, page 3 with the answers. Let's look at these. 1. What is your speed if it takes 2 hours and 15 minutes to travel 32 nautical miles? Right? So we're always going to be looking for distance, speed, and time. Distance is 32 nautical miles. Speed, it says, what is your speed? That's what we're looking for. Time, 2 hours, 15 minutes. 2 hours, 15 minutes. Right? Now we have distance, speed, time. Right? This is a little bit of an example, right? Speed equals distance over time. So this speed in question is equal to distance over time. Distance over time. We have both of those. We're in luck. We can do this. So distance is equal to 32 nautical miles over a time. This is 2 hours, 15 minutes. Well, time is only in hours, right? Distance is in nautical miles. Speed is in nautical miles per hour. So this is 15 minutes. We have to convert that. 15 minutes. 60 minutes in 1 hour. Don't let this confuse you. All I'm doing is dividing 15 by 60. 15 by 60, I know that 15 minutes is 0.25 hours. To do it on a calculator, we would just say 15 divided by 60 equals 0.25 hours. So 2 hours and 15 minutes becomes 2.25 hours. 2.25 hours. So speed equals distance over time, 32 nautical miles divided by 2.25 hours. Clear. 32 divided by 2.25 equals 14.22. 14.22 nautical miles per hour, or 14.22 knots, right? Nautical miles per hour is knots. Let's check. Let's check here. 14.2 is the answer to 1. All right, let's keep going. 2. Again, it's always, we're doing D Street. Distance, speed, and time. If you travel 3.8 nautical miles, fill it in, 3.8 nautical miles, 45 minutes, what is your speed? Again, it wants to know his speed, right? What's our speed? Our time is 45 minutes. 45 minutes. 45 minutes. Okay, to get minutes to hours, you divide by 60. I always do it this way because minutes cancel off, you're left with hours. 45 divided by 60 equals 0.75 hours. To do it on a calculator, you go 45 divided by 60 equals 0.75 hours. So speed is equal to what? Distance over time, which is equal to 3.8 nautical miles divided by 45 minutes, 0.75 hours. So 3.8 divided by 0.75 equals 5.06 repeating. So we'll say 5.1. 5.1 nautical miles per hour, which is knots. Let's see what we got for the answer. 5.1. All right, let's do the third one. Three, how long will it take to travel 38 nautical miles at 12 knots? Okay, let's see this. Distance, speed, time. Wants to know, How long will it take? We're asking speed here. Travel 38 nautical miles at 12 knots. 38 nautical miles at 12 nautical miles per hour, or knots. So it wants to know time. Time is equal to distance over speed. So time is equal to distance over speed, which is equal to, in this case, 38 nautical miles divided by 12 nautical miles per hour. Turns out these cancel and you're left with hours. 38 divided by 12. 38 divided by 12 equals 3.16 repeating. 3.16 repeating is 3.2 hours. Okay, 3.2 hours. So this is number 3, right? 3.2 hours. Well, it wants to know how many minutes. So this 0.2 hours, we have to convert to minutes. We have 3.2 hours. So we have 3 hours. This is good. 0.2 hours. There's 60 minutes in 1 hour. So all I'm doing here is crossing off hours. 0.2 times 60. 0.2 times 60. Clear. 0.2 times 60 equals 12 minutes. So 3 hours and 12 minutes. Our time is equal to 3 hours, 12 minutes. And that was the right answer. Alright, let's keep going. This is number 4. You are turning for 15 knots. How far will you travel in 1 hour, 37 minutes? Again, distance, speed, time. You are going 15 knots, or speed, 15 nautical miles per hour. How far will you travel in 1 hour, 37 minutes? Time, 1 hour, 37 minutes. And we know when we go into D Street, we must be in hours. This is only in hours. So, 37 minutes. 37 minutes divided by 60, right? Divided by 60. We're going to get it to hours. So, 37 divided by 60 equals 37 divided by 60 equals 0.62 hours. 0.62 hours. So our time is 1.62 hours, right? Equals 1.62 hours. And they're asking us, how far will you travel? They want to know a distance. Distance is equal to speed times time. Speed times time, which is equal to 15 nautical miles per hour times 1.62 hours. 1.62 hours. See these hours cancel, left with nautical miles. Is equal to 15 times 1.62. Clear. 15 times 1.62 equals 24.3 nautical miles. 24.3 nautical miles. Should be our answer. Let's look here for 4. 24.3 nautical miles. Okay. Now we're on 5. If you leave at 10 o'clock or at 10:00 hours with a speed of 11 knots, what time will you arrive at a light 25 miles away? Okay, again, we know And my marker's running out. Distance, speed, time. What time will you arrive? A light 25 miles away. Our distance is 25 miles. Our speed is 11 knots. 11 knots. 11 nautical miles per hour. I like to write nautical miles per hour because that's what knots really are. What time will you arrive? Okay, so it says time. We need to find a time. Right? Distance, speed, time. Distance over speed is equal to time. Distance over speed is equal to time. Distance over speed. 25 nautical. Yeah, this is miles, nautical miles. 25 nautical miles, 25 nautical miles over 11 nautical miles per hour. So how long will this take? It's going to take 25 divided by 11 equal to 2.27. 2.27 hours. So the time it will take us to travel 25 nautical miles, going 11 nautical miles per hour, is 2.27 hours. It says, if you leave at 10 o'clock, what time will you arrive? So, if we left at 10 o'clock, now we need to add 2.27 hours to that, right? We can add 2 hours, but this 0.27 hours has to be converted. We have to times by 60, right? We're left with minutes. 2.27 times 60, 0.27 times 60 equals 16.2 minutes. Equals 16.2 minutes. We're going to round this down because this is 0.2. This is lower than 0.5, right? 16 minutes. Right? So 2 hours and 16 minutes. We'll be there at 12:16. Let's see the answer to 5. 12:16. Let's do 6. You depart at 9:30 and arrive at your destination at 10:54. If the distance was 21 nautical miles, what was the speed? Okay, again. Distance, speed, time. Time. Let's look at your distance was 21 nautical miles. Wants to know speed. And speed is equal to distance over time. Right? We have our distance 21 nautical miles. What was our time? Well, we can get our time. You depart at 9:30 and you arrive at 10:54. In our heads we know that's 84 minutes, right? 9:30 to 10 is 30 minutes, and 54 more minutes is 84 minutes. But let's look at this from a more numbers standpoint. So to find the change in time, right? Don't let this confuse you. This little triangle, man. Oh, yeah. Okay, time. How do we get time from here? We have 2. So change in time is equal to the end time minus the start time, right? So that is equal to change in time. So the end time was 10:54. 10:54 minus 9:30. 9:30. 5 minus 3 is 2. 10 minus 9 is 1 hour and 24 minutes. But we need to divide the distance by the time. So this time has to be in hours. This is in hours and minutes. So we just say, this one's good, 1 hour, 24 minutes. 24 minutes times minutes on the bottom. So just divide by 60 and you'll get hours. So 24 minutes divided by 60 equals 24 divided by 24 divided by 60 equals 0.4. 1.4 hours. So time was 1.4 hours. So speed equals distance over time, 21 nautical miles divided by 1.4 hours is equal to 21 divided by 1.4 equals 15 nautical miles per hour, or 15 knots. Let's check that for 6. Good, 15 knots. 7. This is the last problem. We know, okay, you depart at 2100 hours. If you're returning 15 knots, how far will you have traveled at 2250? Alright, so we know this is going to be distance, speed, and time. Distance. How far will you travel? This is the one we're trying to find. Speed, 15 nautical miles per hour. Time. So we need to find the time, right? It says you depart at 21. So you depart at 2100 hours. If you're turning 15 knots, how far will you have traveled at 2250? So what it wants us to say is 2250, 22 hours and 50 minutes minus 21 hours equals 0.50. So 2250 minus 2100 is 1 hour and 50 minutes. This 1 hour is okay. 50 minutes, we gotta have to convert. 50 min divided by 60 equals 50 divided by 60 equals 50 divided by 60 equals 0.83. 0.83 hours. So we have 1.83 hours. 1.83 hours. Again, let's look at our D Street thing. Distance is speed times time. Distance is speed times time, which is equal to 15 nautical miles per hour times 1.83 hours. 15 times 1.83. 15 times 1.83 equals 27.45. 27.45 nautical miles. This is going to round. See, this is a 5. This is going to round up. So it's going to be equal to 27.5 nautical miles. For number 7, let's check. 27.5 nautical miles. That's numbers 1 through 7 solved for distance and speed and time problems. These are crucial to solving the chart and have problems. So understand this. And one of the hardest parts of this course for a lot of people is this time conversion. Understanding that to put time into this equation, this distance, speed, and time equation, it must be in only hours. Whereas on a clock, we get 22 hours and 50 minutes, right? 21 hours. So when we're left with 1 hour and 50 minutes, this 50 minutes needs to be converted to hours in order to go into this equation. And vice versa. If you're left with time out of this equation, if you're left with 1.83 hours, and you need to add 1.83 hours to a clock time, well, then you need to convert the 0.83 hours to minutes to add it back to a clock time. All right.